Kashmir, the heaven on earth. From a landscape long marred by conflict to one embracing peace and progress. Kashmir, the face of New India, led by groundbreaking initiatives in infrastructure, tourism, education, and employment, igniting a renewed sense of hope across the valley. Towns like Pahalgam, once overshadowed by fear, had begun to reclaim their identity as hubs of natural beauty and cultural heritage, drawing visitors from across the country. But just as the region began to show tangible signs of development and prospering, our enemies from across the border could not digest it. On April 22, 2025, the tranquility of Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir was shattered. A brutal terrorist attack claimed the lives of 26 civilian tourists, including one foreign national. The terrorists, backed by Pakistan, targeted Indians based on their religion, aiming to incite communal discord and destabilize the region. The terror attack, targeting innocent civilians and security personnel, was not merely an act of violence. It was a vile attempt to fracture the nation's harmony. But did India keep quiet? No. The biggest destruction was on its way. One the terrorists would have never imagined. India's retaliation has just begun. In the early hours of May 7, 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor, a meticulously planned military operation targeting terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The operation aimed to dismantle the terror networks responsible for the Pahalgam attack and prevent further incursions. The operation resulted in the elimination of over 100 dangerous terrorists, including key figures who had openly plotted against India for decades. Operation Sindoor aimed not only to bring the preparators to justice, but to safeguard the vision of a peaceful, thriving Kashmir that extremists sought to destroy. Operation Sindoor is an unwavering pledge for justice. India executed a series of precise airstrikes targeting 9 terrorist camps located in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Utilizing advanced weaponry, the Indian armed forces targeted locations including Bahawalpur, Mordike, and Muzaffarabad, known hubs for terrorist hideouts and training centers of terrorist organizations like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba. Importantly, no Pakistani military and civilian installations were attacked, underscoring India's focus on counter-terrorism rather than escalation. The coordination between the 3 wings of forces was so seamless and swift that enemies could have never imagined. Frustrated, Pakistan initiated a series of drone and missile strikes targeting both civilian and military infrastructures in India. These included Turkish-origin UAVs and Chinese PL-15 missiles aimed at key locations such as Amritsar, Jammu, and Bhuj. But Pakistan failed miserably. India's integrated air defense systems, notably the S-400 Sudarshan Chakra and the indigenous Akash missile system, successfully intercepted and destroyed the majority of these threats, preventing significant damage and casualties. In response to continued aggression by Pakistan, India expanded Operation Sindoor to include strikes on key Pakistani military installations. India's offensive strikes targeted key Pakistani air bases, Noor Khan and Rahim Yar Khan, with surgical precision along with other military installations like Rafiki, Murid, Sialkot, Pasrur, Chunian, Sargodha, Skardu, Bholari, and Jacobabad. The attack targeted major ammunition depots and air bases such as Sargodha and Bholari, where F-16 and JF-17 fighter jets were stationed. As a result, nearly 20% of Pakistani's air force infrastructure was destroyed. Indian drones and missiles executed highly accurate strikes, severely damaging Pakistani air bases and key military infrastructures. Loitering munitions were used to devastating effect, each finding and destroying high-value targets, including enemy radar and missile systems. On the morning of May 8, the Indian Armed Forces targeted air defense radars and systems at a number of locations in Pakistan. Air defense system at Lahore was neutralized. All these strikes were executed without loss of Indian assets, underscoring the effectiveness of our surveillance, planning and delivery systems. The use of modern indigenous technology, from long-range drones to guided munitions, made these strikes highly effective and politically calibrated. These actions aimed to make Pakistan understand that India will no longer keep quiet if Pakistan didn't immediately cease its misadventures. To give a stern signal that India's stand is very clear: zero tolerance to terrorism. On the battlefield, Pakistan was continuously being overwhelmed by the valor of the Indian armed forces. But there was another front where Pakistan was continuously facing defeat: the information war. Pakistan had launched a series of fake news campaigns against India, spreading lies and misinformation. However, India was fully prepared on this front as well, effectively dismantling their false narratives and propaganda. Following India's aggressive countermeasures, Pakistan began seeking ways to de-escalate, appealing to the global community for relief from rising tensions. After suffering severe losses, Pakistan's military reached out to India's DGMO on the afternoon of May 10 for a ceasefire request. By then, India had already dismantled large-scale terrorist infrastructure, eliminated key militants, and reduced Pakistan's terror hubs to ruins. Taking mercy on the enemies, India reviewed the situation and decided to temporarily suspend its counter-operations against Pakistani's terrorist and military installations, with a clear message that this suspension was not a conclusion. India would continue to assess Pakistan's every move in the coming days, ensuring that its future actions align with its commitments. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the armed forces for their valor and precision. During his address to the nation, the Prime Minister highlighted the unwavering courage displayed by India's brave soldiers in achieving the objectives of Operation Sindoor, acknowledging their valor, resilience, and indomitable spirit. He dedicated this unparalleled bravery to every mother, sister, and daughter of the nation. He emphasized that Operation Sindoor marked a new paradigm in India's counter-terrorism strategy, reinforcing the nation's zero-tolerance policy towards terrorism. He remarked that any talks with Pakistan will now focus only on terrorism and POK. During Operation Sindoor, beyond tactical brilliance, what stood out was the seamless integration of indigenous high-tech systems into national defense. Whether in drone warfare, multi-layered air defense, or electronic warfare, Operation Sindoor marks a milestone in India's journey towards technological Atmanirbharta in military operations, whether they be battle-proven air defense systems like the Pechora, Osa AK, and Ellad guns, or our iconic short-range surface-to-air missile system Akash. All of them demonstrated stellar performance during Operation Sindoor. Operation Sindoor has resonated deeply within the nation, uniting citizens across diverse backgrounds in support of the armed forces. The operation has not only addressed immediate threats but also fortified India's resolve to safeguard its sovereignty and citizens. Operation Sindoor stands as a testament to India's unwavering commitment to national security and its proactive approach in countering terrorism. It has redefined the fight against terror, settling a new benchmark, a new normal. It represents a significant shift in India's defense posture, demonstrating a willingness to take decisive action against cross-border terrorism while maintaining strategic restraint. India will not be intimidated by nuclear threats now, and it will retaliate on its own terms, targeting terror hubs at their roots. It is a stern message to our enemies that don't dare to look at India with bad intentions, else India will wipe you away. Jai Hind.
ये नया भारत है, हम रुकते नहीं हैं, हम झुकते नहीं हैं, जो छेड़ोगे हमें तो हम छोड़ते नहीं हैं। ये नया भारत है, हम डरते नहीं हैं।